I felt like sharing a bit because this topic is interesting, and for me it was because I also heard a lot of teachers, and um, what I always liked about your way of teaching, or that way of teaching which is coming through you, that you also always point out, like you give some advice on your homepage, and people can look if they look for something like on that level. But the pointing is really just like from that sort of loving way. It's and for me it's just really helpful, and it's changing my life on different levels, and but I also can very good understand that for some people, if it is a little bit out of the context, that it can be a little bit confusing or something. So
it's really, I think out of context it's really confusing, but it also really interests me, like non-duality speakers that are dumping it now, after many of years, or sort of like because I just feel like it's really profound. And really important to keep focusing on it. Like I don't think it's bad that they're dumping it, and then maybe there'll be like a new emergence, it will come in a different way, speakers will come under a different title, or there'll be something else that happens. But it interests me that it's it's kind of like being sort of brushed off as a nothing, where it's such a beautiful tradition that's gone on for thousands of years, and it's to me incredibly powerful. When I went to teachers, that was what I was interested in, was the sitting in resonance, and I was interested in understanding as well, but it was more the resonance part that was important.
What for me it would be interesting to know if they just say, okay, we don't want to do it on that in the way that it's available to everybody, like the digital way, or like if they just want to see that people find a different way to them, or if they just say, it feels like that kind of sharing is not handled well or whatever. And so
it could be that they only will talk about it intimately with smaller groups, after people have done lots of therapeutic work on themselves.
I can really understand that, because of different reasons. But with I think with you I still have that feeling that there's enough considering like what is important for the person to understand, like apart from letting go into that experience, or that beingness, like that entering into that realm somehow. And but it might be that it's just some movements, because I always sometimes I compare like what is globally or collectively happening to what is happening to myself, like individually, and then I see, okay, there are sometimes I reach some limitations for me to integrate, and then, or sometimes it feels like a threatening or some anxiety or whatever. So that can also be on the collective level. in a way, and yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe that is a little bit trying to go around it. But I think, or I feel it's the same little bit like being a light tower, yeah, and you have the ships out somewhere, you know, but so if you just keep showing the light, there is a little bit of orientation, you know, and that is maybe just, a good way, instead of saying, yeah, I have the understanding and I'm gonna teach you how to maneuver your ship or whatever, you know, like it's
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it, like a lighthouse rather than like somebody coming over the thing and being like, do this, go left, go right. It's like just showing the light and then they can choose which way to go. That's a really
right.
nice way to put it. Yeah, nice
Yeah.
imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really beautiful, and that's what I feel like non-duality is meant to be, like a lighthouse.
Mhm.
Yeah, like it's just showing, it's just giving the light, and then if that light is followed, it's followed. If not, yeah, and the different ways in which the light can be approached, the different angles in which it can be seen.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your comment.
All right. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
sharing. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.